everybody, I hope you're all having a great day. I just wanted to come on here for a little bit and talk about some fragrances that I had the opportunity of smelling in Sephora today. Some of them I had already smelled before, some of them I wanted to smell just as a refresher to compare them against what I have to be their dupes or supposed dupes, and others which are just, new to the store or, new to me in terms of I don't really know the brand as well. So I figured I would get out there and, just go out there and sniff for myself so I can come back and give you my honest opinions as to what I think about these fragrances or whether or not they are in fact worth the buy. So without much further ado, I'm going to get right into it. However, I will say that if you do like fragrance content and you do want to find the best dupes and honest reviews, I would gladly have you subscribe to my channel. Please click the like button, click on the bell, be a friend, stay around, and let's get into it. So, the number one scent that I wanted to smell today, just out of curiosity, because I don't remember it off the bat when it came out last year, was Jo Malone's Ginger Biscuit. I remember there was such hype around this perfume. I barely smelled it because by the time I got to the store and I tried to spray it out on the tester strip, there wasn't even any fragrance left in the bottle, and unfortunately they were completely sold out and didn't have any other testers on hand. So today actually I was in the store, got to smell the fragrance once again firsthand, and got to compare it to my Ginger Babe, which I've been using and probably spent about $25 for the past year. This is actually my second bottle. I'm a huge fan of this fragrance, having never really had the opportunity to compare it one-to-one with the Jo Malone. Now, when I sprayed the Jo Malone today, I will tell you there is zero longevity whatsoever. Like, I couldn't even smell it on the testing strip. It would appear to be a beautiful fragrance. Like, conceptually, who doesn't like the smell of fresh gingerbread, when the holiday seasons are rolling around? That being said, it was just, to me, a huge disappointment. Similar to that, in a very disappointing manner, was Raspberry Ripple, which I also had the opportunity to smell tonight. I'm not saying it smells bad in any way. By no stretch is this perfume smell bad, nor does the Ginger Biscuit one smell bad. They just have no projection for the price. And to me, when you're going out there and you're spending that kind of coin on perfume, like, you should get what you pay for. And there, it's literally, I get more out of a body spray, which I want to point out is also a huge theme in what I observed in the store today. I find that, I don't know if it's a function of the tariffs or a function of the cost of ingredients or what the reality is, or, this push by a lot of these companies to now be clean. A lot of these fragrances that you are seeing being marketed and being sold in the stores today do not even have what I would describe as the longevity of a body spray. Truth be told, and I'm going to be perfectly honest with you because there's no part of me that is even remotely a perfume snob. I'm a purist. I love a good smelling fragrance. My biggest pet peeve is when it has no projection. So I will buy the dupe if it lasts longer, or I will buy the actual one maybe if I find that for my value I'm getting quality. I do not find that, to be honest with you, with any of these fragrances coming out today. I probably sniffed today in the store 30 to 40 fragrances easily. And the projection on them was simply not there. I'm going to talk about it in a second, what I thought my noteworthy longer smelling fragrances were, but that being said, you're paying up for them. So let me get into a little bit more on the Ginger Babe. So Ginger Biscuit and Ginger Babe, to me, conceptually are indistinguishable, with the one noteworthy aspect of this being the fact that Ginger Babe lingers in the air, it smells beautiful, and it just stays with you. Like, for this price, if I had to buy this over Jo Malone, there is no question in my mind I would not buy Jo Malone, and I would buy Ginger Babe over and over and over again. Simple buy, easy purchase on Amazon. Honestly, great holiday gift for any girl who likes, or guy really, because this fragrance does come off as unisex. It has very like cinnamony holiday like vibe to it. And I'm almost, as I'm smelling it now, almost wondering how it would layer with Sorador Jani, which I'm going to try and I will get back to all of you on. But I'm literally smelling and it's lingering, the spice in the air, and it's beautiful. It really is beautiful. It doesn't give like a Halloween candle smell. It doesn't give like any of that ickiness. It's just a pure, spicy, really just smells like a gingerbread man, and I'm not going to complain about that. So for the price point, definitely this. Okay, the next one. So I decided I was going to smell all the Love Shack fancy fragrances once again. Because, I mean, listen, who doesn't love their bottles? They're absolutely beautiful. They're completely adorable. Storage-wise, pain in my ass. Like, I have no interest in storing these bottles. The little bows on top, like, I don't even know how you would do that without the cap not popping off or whatnot. It's just, to me, like, not for me. That being said, I was trying to figure out, to me, which I thought was the standout fragrance of that line. Now, their new fragrance is called Secret Crush, and it's supposed to be vanillic, and they describe it as a whipped cream, and on and on and on. And listen, there are so many of those fragrances out there right now. Everything is like a whipped creamy vanillic. And to be honest with you, there was nothing about it that stood out to me as like, ooh, this is a perfume I need to have. And at $125, you're paying for the bottle. You're not getting anything beyond that. Like, I'll be honest with you, I smelled the Love Shack Fancy Secret Crush. I smelled 7 Virtues, you know, the vanilla scent. I smelled Vanilla Vibes by Josie Moran. I smelled about 5 or 6, maybe 7 vanillas in the store that were like known for being really amazingly vanillic perfumes. And to me, hands down, still going with my vanilla Voyage. Also on my second bottle, like these are perfumes. This is Maison Asrar. I think this was maybe $30. This is a banger of a vanillic perfume. Like if you want, and I'm not, again, I go back so you can listen to my other review on vanilla perfumes. If you want a really beautiful vanilla perfume that doesn't smell like you're just pouring vanilla extract on you, you know what I'm talking about, Body Shop vanilla perfume oil from the early 90s. This is just a romantic, beautiful, captivating vanilla. It's simplistic, but it's also complicated in the sense that when I put this on, as the day progresses, first of all, it will last the entire day from start to finish. Do not have to reapply, and this is living in a very hot climate where I'm out and about all day long, as you guys know. And as it progresses throughout the day, it brings me to this, and I don't know, because I don't even think these are, I don't know. It could be notes in here, I'm not even sure. But what you're gonna get is this like beautiful cup of, I wanna say like an Earl Grey or an English breakfast tea with like a spot of milk. There's just something so lovely and so comforting and so beautiful about this scent that has nothing to do with what you expect it to be. Like you just expect it to be like your very basic vanilla. It is not that at all. It's just a beautiful, beautiful scent that you will never get tired of. It will never get old, and honestly blows the designer brands out of the water. Like I can't justify it. Like it's a really, really shocking thing when you walk into a Sephora store and you smell countless perfumes. You know, and I didn't just do it like 1, 2, 3. I was really taking my time to say to myself, okay, you know, is this vanilla worth it? Is this vanilla worth it? You know, how do I compare these perfumes? Because I really want to come back to you guys and give you my honest takes so that if possible, I can avoid having you guys make stupid blind buys, be disappointed with your purchases, having to go back to the store and return it, or really just finding you the best bang for what you're looking for in terms of scent. And I will say, like, honestly, I was so unimpressed with the vanilla offerings in that store. Literally gagged when I smelled the Josie Moran. Like there was something about it that was just, it smelled like, I know a lot of people have described like the EOS cashmere, vanilla cashmere body lotion is like hot yogurt at the bottom of the garbage. I could see that. Like, it's my favorite? No. Like, would I like necessarily describe it as that? Probably not. Like, I know where they're going with it, don't get me wrong, but I still don't find it as offensive as I felt the Josie Moran one was. Like, that to me was really hot yogurt at the bottom of the garbage. Like, it was disgusting. I do not want to revisit that again. So there you have it for the vanillas. Next up, and I see on a lot of my fragrance groups, people talking about milk, commodity milk, the different variations thereof of it. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna smell the OG commodity milk for myself and see, like, is it worth the hype? Like, do I really think this fragrance is worth the price that they are in fact charging for it? And I will tell you, I sprayed it. I like it. I really do. But when I sprayed it, the first thing that came to mind to me, and I'm sure a lot of you who have smelled this will not disagree, is Christian Siriano's, I think this is like Intimate Silhouette. I'm not kidding, I paid $29 for this perfume. I wear it all the time. It is a beautiful lactonic scent that I honestly could say is as close to a one-to-one of commodity milk as you're going to get. Like, there's no reason to spend that kind of money on that perfume. It is not unique enough to justify the price tag, and it is certainly not unique enough when you have something this close at this price point. So that was my walk away with that one. It was pretty, I liked it, but I didn't love it enough to spend the money. Back to my Love Shack fancy thing. I got on a tangent with the whole vanilla thing. But the one thing I do want to say is, as I sip my water, the one fragrance in that line that did stand out to me as something very unique and beautiful and something almost nostalgic to me, because I smelled this perfume and I was like, hi 90s, welcome back. This was Love on the Beach. I am a sucker for anything Fragapani. You heard me mention Flora Carnivora by Henry Rose. I love Beach Blossom by Jo Malone, although I have the dupe of it. I would never spend that money again on that with the silage that it has. Like, it just doesn't last, doesn't project, and just doesn't give me what I want. But Love on the Beach, of all of them. And here's my dupe. Thank you, Angela, again at Gold Star Fragrances. I have to tell you, if you are looking for one-to-one dupes, spot-ons, what I like to do is I buy the $12 1 milliliter bottles. I put them in my own rollers, so I have them on my go. I can throw them in my purse. I can reapply throughout the day. And these are concentrated perfume oils, so these scents last. And I have yet, knock on wood, to find one fragrance of theirs that I have purchased where I've been like, oh, this doesn't smell at all like the OG. These are amazing, amazing impersonations of, inspirations of. This is a family business. They've been around for 40 plus years, and they just know what they're doing. Like, they have 3,000, I think at least 3,000 plus fragrances in their catalog. You could always email them if you have any requests or any questions. They don't always have everything in stock all the time. You have to like be patient and check back. But that being said, the customer service is awesome. And I'm not getting anything for free from them. I just happen to really like the business and their customer service, and they've just been very wonderful and pleasant to deal with. So Gold Star Fragrances, they're based in New York. And you can check their website out online. So I happen to pick this up from them. And I will say, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beachy, nostalgic fragrance. And this, of all of them in the line, I think was the most beautiful. That being said, I wouldn't spend that kind of coin on it. But this to me was the one that stood out. So that, my friends, is my hot take on the Love Shack Fancy line. All of them are very pretty. Like, I will say they're all very pretty. It's weird. A lot of them, to me, have sort of this nostalgic 90s, I don't know, Bath and Body Works spray vibe. Like, there used to be, I'm dating myself, but it was around the time that Sun Ripened Raspberries was really hot. There was one they used to come out with these really beautiful florals in May. Like, that's where I found Lilac Path. I think it was called like Mayflower Bouquet. And a lot of their fragrances are like very nostalgic in the sense that like they evoke that sort of scent for me. But that being said, dollars to donuts, I'd still go with Bath and Body Works spray because longevity, you're going to get more from your Bath and Body Works spray. Like, these do not project, they do not last. They're really, really pretty. The bottles are beautiful, but what can I say? You're just not getting it. All right, now, another one I smelled. Okay, so I was smelling all the Josie Morans because for some reason I was very curious as to just kind of how they smell and, you know, what stood out to me. I will be honest with you, I really, really, really disliked all of them. No, that's not fair. I think Golden Decade and Topless Tangerine, of the two, they were very orangey, citrusy. They were pretty. I like them. I like them. I would never spend money on them. I think they're very derivative. There's absolutely nothing unique about them. In fact, I was spraying Topless Tangerine and it reminded me almost one-to-one of Flora's Tangerine Boy. Now, again, I don't always get all my dupes from Gold Star. I do purchase from Dupe Fragrance, which is dopfragrance.com. They have a huge catalog as well. And I just buy whatever their smallest bottle of their inspired oil is of the fragrance I want. I do like to mix that specific one with a little bit of coconut oil just to like make it a little more emollient, rolls on a little easier. And then I just put them in my own bottles. But so when I was comparing it, I was thinking about it immediately. My head went to like, oh, that's Flora's Tangerine Boy. There was nothing to distinguish the two, quite honestly, and I actually think I like Tangerine Boy a lot better because it's just so juicy and tangerine forward. And I was like, if I had a choice of like this or even my Indomitable, my Paris Corner, which I absolutely love, why would I buy those fragrances? I just wouldn't. It's just not worth the money, the time, the energy, the effort to me. So that was my hot take on the Josie Moran line. Then, last but not least, from Sephora, I'm just going to go into from Sephora, was Flora's Queen's Caramel. Now, I have the dupe of it. I got it from Gold Star, and I wanted to smell it directly against the OG. And I will say the following. Again, I think Flora gets it right with their body sprays. I have their mists. They make me happy. I feel like they last to me, to be honest with you, a lot longer than some of their perfumes. Like, I will test their perfume in a store, leave them all, and just be like, did that even happen? I remember thinking that with Missing Person. Like, I sprayed Missing Person for the first time. I was like, oh, this is quite lovely. It actually, I'm going to do another episode and I'll talk about what it reminds me of. I liked it. I thought it was quite pretty. And literally couldn't smell it by the time I left the mall. And it was just, I went Sephora to the parking lot. It was gone. And I was like, oh, maybe that's why it's called Missing Person. And it just didn't do it for me in the same way because they don't last. And I'm like, you know what? If I'm spending that on a bottle of perfume, number one, I want 3.4 ounces. And number two, I want it to last. Like, those are my two simple requests. I know like a lot of people will say, oh, I like the 1.7 because I can use it up more quickly and then I can go on to the next. I just feel like, I don't know, maybe it's just me, and I was part of a group where we were discussing this the other day. Like, even if you're not going to get through the entire 3.4 and you decide to like sell it, decant it, give it to a friend, whatever, I just think you're getting better value. That's just my humble opinion. So that was my aside. But what I did smell today was the Queen's Caramel. Queen's Caramel is one of their new releases. I think it's absolutely beautiful. Again, would not pay full price. You know, definitely go the dupe route. And did not disappoint. Like, I really did like that fragrance. And the other one that I really did like, although it wasn't so unique to me, where I was like, I absolutely can see the difference between this and every other cherry fragrance, was their new perfume, which is Cherry Stem. To me, it was very derivative. It was beautiful. It was not as soft or powdery of a cherry as, let's say, Tom Ford's Lost Cherry. It was a little more, like, it almost reminded me, weirdly, of the stem of a maraschino cherry. So it gave more of like a maraschino cherry vibe, if that makes sense. So it was not synthetic, because I guess maraschino cherries, like, not like they occur in nature, but it was like literally evoking that vibe. Like, it smelled like a bottle of what you would expect, you know, a jar of maraschino cherries to smell like. I liked it. I didn't love it enough or find it unique enough to be like, you know what, I definitely think this perfume is worth it. So, you know, only time will tell. I truthfully would have loved to see this in a body spray. So I'm just going to wait and see. Maybe they'll do something along those lines. And my last and final is, I wanted to go to Victoria's Secret because for some reason, and I've been using Bear for a while, I think it's very pretty, like light, cozy, musky type of, just a really like no-brainer type of scent. Like, you can just wear this any day, any time of year, and it's just totally not offensive. Like, I just like it. So I wanted to smell the suede vanilla one that they had, which everyone is like hyping like crazy, and just compare it to the OG and see like if the flanker was better than the original, or if it was like worth a buy in its own right, but I enjoyed it as much. And to be honest, I was very disappointed. I thought, whereas this is just a pretty everyday, like, pretty girl scent. Like, I don't smell this and think of like an age group. I think like if I walk past someone smelling, you know, smelling of this in the store, I'd be like, oh, that person smells really nice. They smell lovely. They smell clean. It's just an easy wear. The other one reminded me of like grandma smell, and not like cool hip grandma. Grandma just came out of the beauty salon, and her hair was like frozen solid with Elmet. Like, ugh, no thanks. I felt like it choked me out, and I wanted no part of it. So for now, guys, it's gonna be just straight up Bear for me, or not at all. In all of this group, I would say that, you know, Ginger Babe, obviously, to me, I don't see it as a year-round scent. But then again, I live in a hot climate. This is not going to be, you know, something I find myself wearing in July. I think it's a beautiful scent. I think if you are going for that vibe, I think it's a very limited season when you're going to even wear the Jo Malone one. So for that reason alone, if you want that smell, but you don't want to pay that price and make that kind of investment, hands down, like, go with Ginger Babe. Like, you will not be headed in the wrong direction. You will be very pleased with that purchase. As far as my Love Shack fancies, you know, go, I hands down love Love on the Beach. But for me, this is not going to be, again, and even in living a hot climate, I don't think I will be wearing this in the winter. Like, it is just a very beautiful spring, I don't know, I smell, like when I think of this, I think of like Mayflowers. Not just like the Mayflower bouquet that, you know, Bath and Body Works put out 100 years ago, but just this like Mayflowery Mother's Day kind of vibe, so that like this will carry me through like spring, summer, even by August. I think I'm not going to be wearing this scent, because I feel like at that point already you kind of just like want to maybe move on to something a little more. You, even if you live in a hot climate, you still want to feel like fall is around the corner, and that's not giving that. So that's where I would say like maybe your Queen's Caramel is gonna come in. Beautiful scent. Vanilla Voyage to me is an all year wear. Like, you know, I don't know. It's just pretty. Like even on a rainy summer day, I would still like this perfume. Hard to get too. Like, I really like this perfume. It does not have a season for me. This is an easy, I can wear to work. I can wear a night out. I can wear running errands. It's a very like user-friendly scent. Again, would not pay full price for this fragrance, but really do like the fragrance. Like, do I find it super unique? No, but can I appreciate that it's pretty? Yes, I think a lot of people have compared it to House of Silage, Hufflepuff, or if you have Hey Cat, you know, that would be Giggle Puff, which is the dupe. It doesn't have that lactonic vanilla-y. It's a more citrus forward, but that's being said, I don't interpret that to be like a strict citrus like this one. Like, this really is all tangerine. Like, you are getting oranges, tangerines, straight up that. This to me, if I had to compare, if I had to like bring it to like modern day, I would say this is like what your Tommy girl became when she grew up, if that makes sense. And I like it for that reason. Like, I just think it's a very pretty wear. Not disappointed with it at all. And last but not least, I'm gonna go back to my Christian Siriano. I really like my Christian Siriano. It's pretty. It just does like, yeah, it's 100%. Listen, guys, don't waste your money. Like, don't waste your money. I know, you know, there's so much hype there, especially there's so much content out there where people are hyping like all these on-trend fragrances. If you want that scent, this is not a scent that you are gonna wear like all day, every single day. Like, it's just not. It's got a lactonic vibe, but it's also got a little bit of a spice to it. You'll wear this in an evening. I don't see this being, maybe I'm wrong, an office fragrance. Like, I just don't. I do see it being like a lovely date night fall fragrance. Hands down, would not complain about that. I also find it unisex. Like, I know it comes in a little dress, but if I smelled a guy wearing this, I wouldn't be like, oh, why is he wearing perfume? It's just a very like lactonic, comforting, cozy scent that I think you'd wear fall into winter. That's just me. And last but not least is my Bear, which I love, and it's just an easy everyday fragrance, and it's not going to blow the bank. I think it's like, I even think on the Prime days they were having sales, like this was like $53 for the big bottle, so definitely a worthwhile purchase. And that's all I got for today. But if you like my content and you love to learn more about different fragrances out there, you want honest reviews without, you know, any advertising, PR hype, please click like, subscribe, and stick around, and I'll just bring you more great stuff as I come up with it. Thank you. Have a great day.